background ko sa theater. Kasi yung discipline also is one of the most important thing wherever you go, no? Kahit saan discipline ka mapunta, pag wala kang disiplina, parang walang mangyayari sa buhay mo eh. So, yung discipline of the theater, in-apply ko sa discipline ng dubbing, which, in the end, it worked.
Kaya pala po kayo tinawag na father of all dubbers. May discipline. Okay.
Matanda na kasi.
Hindi naman po. So, Sir Ryan, question lang po. Ano po yung mga projects na naging dubbing director kayo? At saka ano na po yung mga nabosesan ninyo? Can you share po some of them?
Actually, medyo marami na rin. Actually, Gundam Seed Destiny, Mega Man, Eureka 7, Transformers, Cybertron, Planet Capricorn, saka marami pang iba. Tsaka yung mga, actually, yun din, like, tapos yung mga nabosesan ko naman, sa Kim Possible, si Ron Stoppable, si Mega Man, si Shine sa Akatsuki Chacha, hindi ko na alam yung iba nakalimutan ko na.
Sa sobrang dami, nakalimutan na. Kaya magaling si Sir Ryan. So kayo naman po, Sir Danny, what are the more memorable projects na nahawakan na po ninyo?
Siyempre, ang first memorable project ko, yung Poseidon. So, that's yung first directorial job ko. And then, the second one is Peter Pan, which I played the role of Smee. And at the same time, ako yung translator, ako din yung director nun. And of course, no offense meant, but I was the one who directed Meteor Garden. At the time, way back 2000-something. I forgot. So, it was a phenomenal program.
Actually, na-discover ko din po siya. Hindi ko napigilan ang sarili ko, nanood din ako.
Talaga?
Si Sir Ryan po, can you describe the role as a dubbing director? Mahirap po ba yun?
Actually, mahirap siya kasi nasa iyo lahat ng responsibilities. Halimbawa, nagka-problema, ikaw ang kailangan humandle nun. Whereas kung dubber ka, syempre, mag-dub ka lang. Hindi ka tulad ng dubbing director na pagkatapos ng programa, isipin mo pa, baka yung pagkakamix hindi maganda. Tapos kung yun, magkakaroon ng butas, may mubura. Yun yung mga responsibilities.
So, nakaka-stress po.
Nakaka-stress din. Saka minsan, syempre, maghahabol ka sa oras. Yun.
Okay. So, Sir Danny po, as a father of all dubbers, yes, and as a director, paano po ba kayo humawak ng cast? Mahirap po ba mag-handle ng casting?
Okay, siguro Choi can testify how I handle people in my dubbing. I'm a monster.
Siguro.
Yeah. Okay. But it's because of the theater discipline that I have, siguro. So, medyo nadala ko yung discipline na how to discipline people in the dubbing industry. So, but I don't mean any harm to these people, but as you can see, lahat ng mga naging dubbers, lahat ng mga nagdaan sa akin bilang mga dubbers, they are now all dubbing directors. So, parang ako yung pinakamasaya siguro sa lahat ng mga dubbing director kasi all my dubbers before are now my peers. Kasi, so, parang nagtanim ako ng isang punla, tapos tumubo sila. Nagkaroon sila ng sarili nilang sanga, nagkaroon sila ng bulaklak, at nagkakaroon ulit sila ng panibagong binhi. Yung ganon.
As a teacher, yun
Oo.
po yung ano.
I used to teach anyway.
Kaya naman pala po. So, Sir Ryan, do you see yourself retiring or changing careers?
Yung careers, siguro, pag wala ng project, sana wag naman. Pero retiring, siguro, hindi. Tingin ko siguro pag tandang-matanda na ako, yung makasalita. Siguro yun.
Malayo pa mararating. So, sa inyo pong dalawa, can you give us some sample voices na ginamit niyo po? Yung mga nabosesan po ninyo?
Actually, matagal na kasi yung mga nabosesan ko na sumikat eh. Dito kayo
Right now, may ginagawa akong isang telenovela. Ang title niya si Zorro.
Opo.
Ako yung pare doon, si Father Tomas. Which basically an old priest. Parang ano yung mga pesteng pare ng unang panahon? Ang tawag doon? Nung panahon ng Kastila.
Bumagsak po yata ako sa
Sila
history.
Padre Damaso, parang
Ay,
gano'n.
yun.
Ayan.
Opo.
So, yun. Tapos, siguro yung another voice is yung ginawa ko sa Peter Pan, which is si Smee.
Pwede pong sample po, Sir Danny.
Anong gusto mong sample ang gawin ko? Gusto mo ba akong kumanta ngayon? Patutulugin kita, hele. Yun, yung mga ganong klaseng boses. And then, basically, pagka may mga incidental characters na gusto ko lang gawin, it's my normal voice, or I should say medyo konting bale. Kung gusto ko maging monster, okay din.
Ay, kakatakot. Sir Ryan, kayo po.
Actually, kasi normal voice ko lang naman yung iba ron eh. Yung si Chacha, parang, Chacha! Ganun lang. Tapos si Shishine. Yun nga, Shishine yun. Tapos sa Kim Possible, lagi sinasabi doon, Katie! May problema! Ganun lang. Tapos, si Ryu sa Gatchaman. Yung, Ken, may problema tayo ngayon. Anong gagawin natin? Ganun lang.
Actually, siya yung kumawag kay Ron Stoppable. At dun sa na yun, actually, hindi naman ako yung pumili. It was yung Walt Disney ang nag-approve ng boses niya. Wow. So, of all people, I was so surprised. And actually, dapat meron pa tayong isang kasama dito. Silang dalawa kasama sa Kim Possible at the time. Silang dalawa talaga yung top na nirecommend ng Walt Disney. Si Benji Durango at saka si Ryan. So, there's one characteristic in common in these two people. Bulol.
Ay!
So, kung kayo bulol, wag kayo magiging madi-discourage kasi may kalalabasan yung pagkabulol ninyo. Yun.
So, lastly po, meron po ba tayong maibibigay na advice sa mga youth na gusto pong maging dubbers o gustong pumasok sa industriya po natin?
Magsikap lang kayo. Kung nakapasok kayo dito, magsikap kayo. Tsaka practice. Practice makes perfect.
Sir Dan.
Siguro ang masasabi ko yung mga naghahangad o mga nag-aambisyon na pumasok sa dubbing. Kinakailangan siguro bigyan natin ng talagang concentration yung kung ano yung gusto natin gawin. Don't take it for granted because ang tingin ko dito, nung sinimulan ko ito at nung naging dubbing director na ako, hindi ito basta-basta gawain na sa tingin nga ng iba, racket lang. Pero sabi ko, ito ay isang sining na gawain. So parang...
Sorry po, commercial break na po.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So, sabi ko, isang sining ito na kinakailangan natin itong bigyan ng halaga. So, dapat lang na wag itong isa santabi lang o basta-basta na lang. Dapat bigyan halaga ang dubbing.
Okay. So, thank you po, Sir Danny and Sir Ryan. Okay. Maraming salamat po at pinaunlakan niyo po kami. So, to our viewers, thank you very much for watching. And so, may advice po ako. So, listen closely and listen by heart. So, this is Frances and this is Voti TV. We'll be right back.
Alright, welcome back, and we're here again on Voti TV. Of course, you know what I'm gonna tell you right now, well, one thing that makes the life of young and old people are, well, making the right decisions. Minsan nga, nahihirapan tayo kung ano yung isusuot natin ngayon, o kaya naman kung ano yung pagkain na kakainin natin, di ba? Simpleng-simpleng bagay, pero nahihirapan pa rin tayo. What more kung if we are facing life-changing decisions like what course to take in college, o kaya naman if we are going to take a certain job, o kaya if we are or when is the right time to quit your job. Pero luckily, here on Voti TV, we have Lloyd Luna to help us out make the right decisions. Kaya dito po yan, that's all happening here on Career 911.
Thank you, Marian. Magandang hapon, Pilipinas. Isang maulang hapon po sa ating lahat. Ako si Big Lloyd Luna, dito sa VOTI TV Career 911. Para talakayin ang isa pang issue na karamihan sa atin ay gustong-gustong malaman ng mga kasagutan na naaayon sa ating panahon. Pakiramdam nyo ba? Hindi nyo na malaman kung anong gusto niyo gawin sa buhay. O di kaya naman ay alam nyo kung ano ang inyong gagawin pero hindi nyo lang ito magawa-gawa. Lahat tayo ay may kanya-kanyang pangarap na gusto nating matupad. Pero sa bilis ng agos ng buhay, nawawala ang focus natin sa mga nangyayari. Kaya naman, I don't have any choice. Yun yung madalas nating ikatuwiran. Madalas natin sambitin. Magbabago po ang inyong pananaw tungkol dyan. Kaya samahan niyo po kami sa isang makabuluhang usapan tungkol sa paggawa, pagpili ng choices ngayong araw na ito dito sa Career 911. Kasama po natin sa studio, live na live, ang isa sa pinakabatang negosyante sa Pilipinas. I'm very proud to have this guy. Really. Mga panahong wala akong pera, ito ang nilalapitan ko. Nokia Youth Mobile Entrepreneur Awardee at President ng Technominds Incorporated. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alvin Tan. Alvin, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Before I get back to you, I just have to read a letter which was sent to me by a girl named Marites Gano of Quezon City. And she asked, is it really possible to separate my career life from my personal life? My manager advised me to leave my personal matters at home so that I can focus on my work. However, she says, I find it hard to do. I have to advise for you, Marites, this afternoon. Just two things, very, very quick things, that I hope that would help you in answering this very tricky question. One is, you cannot separate your career life from your personal life. You cannot just do that. Many people don't understand this thing. They try to separate what they are feeling in the office from what they are feeling at home. It's very unfortunate that they cannot do that. If you cannot perform well at home, kung hindi masyadong maganda yung pakiramdam mo sa bahay mo, sigurado yun kapag ka nasa opisina ka na, hindi rin magandang pakiramdam mo. So this is what I usually advise to my readers and to those who always attend my seminars. You cannot separate your personal life from your career life. That's the reason why you have to be very, very careful on how you choose your emotion, how you control your emotion, because otherwise, if you cannot control your emotion, simple lang mangyari, your emotion will control you. Number two is you can actually choose your emotion. You can have that choice. In life, I believe it's always about choices that we make. And these choices define our very life. Now, speaking of choices, Marites, the reason why I invited Alvin here is for you to at least learn from this great guy. Very, very young. I think 18 years old. Alvin, is that so?
24.
How many?
24.
24, not 18. Yes. Masyadong palang bata yung pag-ano ko sa'yo, no? Pag-build up. I want you to really learn from Alvin. Because right now, I believe that he's bringing with him two important choices that he actually made in his life. That's the reason why, ngayon, aminin man niya o hindi sa akin at para sa aming mga kaibigan niya sa business community, isa siyang successful entrepreneur. Batang-bata pa. So, Alvin, first question. What are the toughest choices that you actually made in the past 10 years?
Actually, the toughest decision I made was during the second year of our operations. We experienced bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
So during that time, we were in a dilemma whether to stop the business and to collect the remaining money, or to continue the business and face the problem. So during that time, we decided to push through and to face the problem. So back then, instead of shutting down the business, the deloads, so we decided to expand our business. So that's the time wherein we started offering solutions to other clients. So we sold we offered our system to corporate clients, and we charged a fixed annual fee for them. And because of that, we were able to surpass and to reach where we are right now.
Pag may mga ganitong bankruptcy, nawawala din ba yung mga kaibigan?
Syempre, usually dun mo malalaman kung sino yung tunay mong kaibigan eh. So sa amin,
Sa kaso mo, may mga
sa amin naman, ang maganda naman doon, yung grupo namin, we remain intact. So hindi naman like in other companies na pag nagka-loss, nagkakahiwa-hiwalay. In our case, I think I was fortunate enough to have the partners who stayed with me. So hinarap talaga namin yung problema.
What made these people choose to stay with you, with your company?
I think what's important with our companies, we have a vision. So we had a clear vision on what we really want to do and what we really want to achieve. So because of that vision, lumaban kami. Because if you don't have a vision, so kumbaga there's no point of really going through that challenges.
I see. So that's one tough decision that you had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. At the backstage kanina, we were talking about if you're going to pursue your employment career and then go up to the corporate ladder, or you might as well establish your own business. How tough is this decision?
Actually, it's one of the toughest decision I made because right after graduation, my parents would want me to help in the family business, and at the same time, my mother want me to start to have a corporate career. She felt that back then it's more secure because starting a business at a young age takes a lot of risk.
Right. So why did you take a lot of risks?
I felt that I believe that in life, opportunity knocks only once.